He can't be a failure. The man won Champions League with the worst team in the Scottish League. What do you mean?
26
Actually,
years.
go to London.
26 years of management. I don't want to discuss that manager. That's not the time. This is not the time. Sorry.
Relatable.
I don't want to relate because I'll give you Ancelotti with the worst Madrid side. He came and won the Champions League.
It was not the worst.
No, it wasn't the best Madrid side. No, it wasn't the best.
And winning
it was the worst.
Listen, Ancelotti has not only won it with Madrid. That continues to prove how great he is. He has won it with more than one club and more than two. That is European royalty, not Pep Gaudiola.
Hey, everybody welcome. Everybody to the fan page.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the fan bench for the fans and by the fans, and this is the big debate on the fan bench. I feel like violence today. I feel like shaking tables right now.
You might regret it. You might regret it, but shake the table you want.
So, on the fan bench, big debate is Pep Gaudiola has won 40 trophies. Among those, he has been at 3 clubs. Manchester City, 10 years, making 10 years. Bayern, 3 years. Yeah. And Barcelona, the same number, 3. Yes. At Barcelona, he won the Champions League in 2009 with Lionel Messi and co. At Barcelona still, he won the Champions League in 2011 with Messi and co. Against Manchester at first, and then against who? 2009 nearly against who?
Manchester again.
I think it was Manchester against Scholes somewhere out.
Yeah,
against Manchester again. Wow, that's impressive. But then he leaves Barcelona. No, let me rephrase. He leaves Lionel Messi. He goes to Bayern, given all the money, bought players from Dortmund, and won all the local competitions, as you could say. In that time frame, he did not get to a single Champions League final with Bayern Munich. Is that factual? Is that factual? Nina Vasaja Man City, by the way, I want to be on record. After that, he leaves. The Bundesliga is top 5. Basically, he's 5th in rankings at the time. The Italian league was stronger. So it was 4th. So Premier League was the toughest league at the time, still is now. La Liga, in fact, La Liga could have been better then. And then Italian league, and then German league, and then France and wherever. So when Pep Gaudiola was in the league where Bayern has won 11 of the last 13 titles of the local title, the writer title, Pep Guardiola won it twice and lost 1, I think, to Dortmund. Klopp. This is the career of Pep Guardiola. After buying Götze, Lewandowski from Dortmund, he lost the final title to Mr. Klopp. He jumps and goes to the Premier League. He has won 6 Premier League titles in 10 years. A 4-peat in there, a treble in there. The mathematics, and this is where the topic is. This is the big debate. You had the introduction. Since he left Messi, Pep Guardiola has spent more than 1.5 billion since he left Messi. Since they went separate ways. Pep Guardiola, in those 13 years, 3 at Bayern, 10 at Man City. He has won 1 Champions League and gone to only 1 final in the Champions League in 13 years. And he has been in the Champions League every...
He went to 2 Champions League finals.
No, when you win 1, we say you won.
You won 1. So you went to 1.
Yes, you went to 1 semi-final because you understand? Because when you go to the semi-final, the second time and you win it, you can't say I went to a semi-final. You won it. So winning is the epitome of everything. So he won 1 Champions League.
Can you win without going to the final?
No, my point is this. You cannot have 2 slots by saying he won the Champions League and went to 2 semi-finals. You understand? Because 1 is already taken by winning it. So, in 13 years, He has gone to one. He has won, one Champions League with Man City.
Yes.
And gone to one semi-final. He has been on about 4 quarterfinals. No, 5. Yes, 5. And I think 1 in German, but I know for sure in England, 5. And then he has dropped out of round of 16 about 3 times, right, from his first season. And then also playoffs last season. Playoffs is before the round of 16. I repeat, playoffs is before the round of 16. My name is Waiki Ben, and I'm saying Pep Guardiola has been a failure according to the money he has spent in Europe. He has been a failure.
In Europe,
The mic is yours.
I will even start with me so that Jared can finish you off properly.
You finish.
Get a match. Nze siri muntu nnyo wa history that I'm going to dive so much into. I just want to go straight to the point. Pep Guardiola is a failure.
In Europe.
In Europe. It is okay to say this.
Since Messi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let
me
use
rephrase.
an example.
Without Messi, Pep Guardiola is just another Simeone.
I'll use a perfect example. How many Champions Leagues did Luis Enrique win in any of his champions? Managerial careers.
I think he has won his second with PSG.
Thank you. How many Champions Leagues did Alex Ferguson, the great, win in all those 29 years with Manchester United? Only 2, right?
Only 2.
Exactly. That shows you the physicality of what happens when you actually get to the big stage of the Champions League. By the way, right now, it's actually it's less hard to get the Champions League because anyone can actually get the Champions League in this category.
Why isn't he winning it?
Actually, now let me tell you.
Has he died?
Let me tell you the thing is this. That's why I said it's a lot easier. That's why this season can come, he fails to get it. The next season can come, and he actually has to get it.
He has been to one final.
If he has been to one final and has actually won the title, why did Arsene Wenger, your own man, go to just one final?
We are discussing Pep Guardiola.
And I can use relevant examples.
Prove to me that he has been a success in Europe. Because 13 years is a long time. I can also give you a reference of someone who has done better than that. I give you Ancelotti. Ancelotti has 5 or 7.
And he has done more that with teams with pedigree.
No.
A team with pedigree.
No,
facts.
That's also a fact. A pedigree. You've spent more money than Ancelotti.
What does that mean, Ate?
By you, I mean Pep Guardiola. I started with the money he has spent. Yes, I have those records.
We haven't.
In record, since Pep Guardiola started managing, he has spent the most money in the world, followed by Jose Mourinho. Kati njagala soko menyewe chawenga na bichi because for me I can give Ancelotti who has spent less.
That does not make Guardiola a failure in the Champions League. Ask me why.
He has not performed to the standard of the money he has spent.
In a tournament setting, let us not cram football. In a tournament setting, you do not just come with one sort of type of play that you want to actually win a title back and forth. That is not Zidane.
Zidane won it 3 times
exactly. Do you know the team he had?
Do you know the team you've had?
And is he the greatest manager?
Is he the greatest manager?
He has done better than you in Europe.
And he cannot chat to Pep. Do you know that?
He has done better than Pep in Europe.
Pep.
They have the same number
of
but he did it in he three-peated.
What do you mean?
Or three-peated it.
Okay. Does that mean that the way Pep Guardiola won the Champions League with Man City is actually better than how Ferguson won?
No, I want to ask him one stupid question.
Don't ask me a question. Tell me, add your point first, because the mic is with you now.
I'm going to add my point. But let me first ask you one question.
Please.
Do you think Thomas Tuchel is a better manager than your guy, Arsene Wenger? Just because he won a Champions League. That is better.
A better manager is broad, because better means you are good at something better than the other. Let me finish. You've asked me a question. The kind of footballer I'm a fan of, Wenger is a better manager than Tuchel. But Europe is the epitome of football. And if Wenger never won a trophy in the Champions League, Tuchel is clear.
So let me ask one other question.
So achievement greater, 20 but years, not better.
20 years at the team. Before I add you my point, 20 years at the team and you win only 3 major trophies.
How many finals did he go to?
Should I consider him a failure?
No, he's not a failure. Exactly. Because now you're detracting from the actual topic.
Let's go back to Pep.
I want to stick to the topic. We shall discuss Wenger on another.
Let's stick to the topic. Pep Guardiola and the word failure are mutually exclusive.
Very important. To the whole world.
It doesn't matter.
He has failed.
Where German, England, Spain, the word failure and Pep Guardiola are mutually exclusive. They can't coexist. There is no manager in this beautiful world has played the best team in the Champions League more than Pep Guardiola. And that team I'm talking about is Real Madrid.
De Madrid.
Real Madrid has spent a lot of money, almost equal to that of Pep Guardiola. You understand? And they are the best team in that tournament. But I'm telling you the fact that Pep Guardiola has played that team more than 20 times in just the fucking Champions League. You understand? So, labeling Pep Guardiola a failure by first retracting the Champions Leagues that he has won with Messi literally does not make any sense. Because Messi's prime was literally made by Josep Guardiola. So the mere fact that you're saying, let us retract the trophies that Pep Guardiola won because he had Messi. Yet,
did Messi win a Champions League without Pep?
Yes, of course.
How many?
And I think like 3.
Without Pep?
Yes.
How many did Pep win without Messi?
Let me tell you something. Let me
answer the question first of all.
He
Let's say
won,
Messi.
He won 1.
Let
me tell you something. Are you
It's
aware
still a
that
Champions League. What do you mean? It's a failure?
No, let him carry on.
Let me
Let him
first
carry on.
explain
You have
to
made
you.
my point.
Are you aware that some football fans, those delusional football fans that call themselves Cristiano Ronaldo fans, who are literally not football fans, say that the first Champions League of Lionel Messi should not be counted for Lionel Messi because his participation in that trophy was very minimal. Are you aware of that?
I don't share that view.
But are you aware?
We cannot discuss people who are not here.
Let me ask you. Are you aware that his participation in that first Champions League trophy was minimal? It is not the same participation that he had for the other 3.
My point is here. Messi has been part and parcel of everything Barcelona has won while Messi was there. Part, if not 80% parcel. But let me cut down to what you're arguing. I don't want to discuss Messi as a topic today. For me, what I'm arguing is here. Messi has won Champions League without Pep Guardiola. More than 1. Pep Guardiola has won only 1 without Messi. In 13 years and 2 billion pounds.
Let me first tell you something. That alone is not a good parameter to measure on someone's
I gave
success.
you just an example.
Yeah, I understand. But that's not a good parameter. And my point, why I'm saying that the word failure and Jose and Pep Guardiola are mutually exclusive is because you don't even have to retract the Champions Leagues that you won with Messi. Because 100%, okay, 100% is too much. 70% of those Champions League trophies were won by Pep himself.
Messi won you the second Champions League with my eyes. I watched that game. It was the most terrifying night of Ferguson in Wembley. That's the night where he shook his hands like this. He terrified that 11 of Manchester United.
Are you aware?
Pep Guardiola
he
says
terrified them. But are you aware that that very night, the night before that Champions League final, Pep Guardiola called Lionel Messi and sat with him in that deep night, and they had a discussion. How are you telling me
the argument is not Pep Guardiola is not a good manager. The argument is Pep Guardiola has failed in Europe with all the money he has been awarded.
Yeah,
that's afforded.
And my argument
can I give my side?
Yes, please.
If you say the man is a failure in the Champions League, yet he has won 1. How many Champions League do you want him to win? More than like 3 or 4?
Ancelotti has won about 5 Champions League.
Talk about the best team in the Champions League, Real Madrid. Talk about Man City. The best team in the last decade in the Premier League.
I'll give you an example.
You look at the pedigree that you're actually putting on the Premier League. If you're transitioning from the quality you had at Barcelona and you're coming in the Premier League, what they call the hardest league in the world, you want to tell me that Pep is actually a failure for taking that team as far as the semi-final twice and as far as the final twice, though you're saying it is once. Pep Guardiola took the team, won the Champions League in a very unique way. It is not about the number. Because if you are saying about the number, I would have pulled out.
For you, you're talking in your time of Man City.
It's not even about time.
No, there's a time when he was at Bayern Munich. Let me finish. The year he left Bayern Munich, oyo guy bamuyitani oyo, that German guy wangula Champions League guy. In fact, he won the treble with the Bayern. That same team of Pep, guy went on to win the Champions League that Pep failed to do. But now, kubiyogerako omusajja takoze bulungi mu Europe with all the money he has been afforded.
It's
factual.
Mami waikibenda jayogerako. Bobanga, you're supporting football. I want you to remember.
He beat Klopp.
If you say that way, that will also make Ferguson a failure in the Champions League.
Yes,
Because
it's a valid point. It's a valid point.
He can't be a failure. The man won Champions League with the worst team in the Scottish League. What do you mean?
26
Actually,
years.
go to London. Hey.
26 years of management. I don't want to discuss that manager. That's not the time.
Ah.
This is not the time. Sorry.
Relatable.
I don't want to relate because I'll give you Ancelotti with the worst Madrid side. He came and won the Champions League.
It was not the worst.
No, it wasn't the
To you,
best
it was the
Madrid
worst.
side. No,
To you,
it
it was
wasn't
the
the
worst.
best.
Madrid and winning
To you,
the
it was the
Champions
worst.
League.
Listen,
That it is.
Ancelotti has not only won it with Madrid. That continues to prove how great he is. He has won it with more than one club and more than two. That is European royalty, not Pep Guardiola.
You can't
Now, Ancelotti is what they
compare
call-
qualities from decades. You cannot compare.
No,
That is why.
Ancelotti won the Champions League.
That is
with
why
AC
I've given
Milan.
you. That's why I've given you my
Won
point. You
it
can't
3 times
compare
with
pedigree
Madrid.
with Real Madrid
The
and Man
reason
City.
why 10, let me tell you something. 5 Champions League trophies with Real Madrid are equivalent to 1 Champions League with Manchester City. And Arsenal
Make that
fan-
make sense.
An Arsenal fan would agree.
No, make that make sense. 5 Madrid
5
Champions
Ma-
League are equal to
if-
1 Premier League Champions League.
Yes,
Checho.
1
Yeah.
Champions League of Manchester City
Is
is
equivalent to
equivalent to 5
Make
Champions
it make
League
sense.
with. It is harder to win a first Champions League for a team than it is
To continue
to
to
win
win.
for a team that is having fucking 15
5.
Champions
Liverpool
League
has stopped at
trophies.
6.
You
The
understand what
reality.
I'm trying to say?
And then there is.
An
And then there
Arsenal
is.
fan would understand that more.
Now
It
let
is
me
very hard
let
to
me
win
add
a
to that
first
point.
Champions League.
Let me add to that. It is very hard to win a first Champions League when you have what you have been afforded 2 billion shillings, $2 billion, £2 billion, more than any club has ever been afforded, more than any manager has ever been afforded. You can't tell me that is good enough.